swing this kettlebell in strength and kettlebell only muscle gain. So I'm gonna do this Q&A based on all these questions from Reddit. So I'm just gonna basically go down, read them really quick. Probably won't get a chance to do every single one of them. But if this live goes off, then I'm just gonna download it and put some chapters and stuff, and then send it back out. But there's definitely a lot of questions here. Maybe some of them that I haven't really answered before. But the next couple of minutes, I'm going to get into it. And if you want to let some people know, I'm answering all these questions. It's basically in the subreddit on Kettleballs, not kettlebells. So if you want to follow along, it's there. So basically, you start off with this first one. It's a proper way of reading your program KBOMG. Kettlebell, oh my god. Is it kettlebell only muscle gain? Kettlebell, oh my gourd? So whatever you want it to be. But yeah, it's just kettlebell only muscle gain. KBOMG, easy way to put it. Kettlebells just really get you. So first question. How did my friendship with Levi and Steven come about? Interesting. Did you guys know each other before becoming three of the most impressive kettlebell guys out there? Thank you. Were we separated at birth after being exposed to radioactive kettlebell? Really, Steven, Rhino Strength on Instagram, and Levi Marquardt, we're all good buddies. We talk nearly every day. Basically, it's for a healthy talk and disdain of some of the ridiculous information that's put out on Instagram. So that's one of the things we like to talk about. But we share, good stuff that we create, and just as being people that a lot of people ask questions to, we kind of go over those questions. But that's just one of those things. We just became good buddies. We all like similar stuff. So interested in the thought process behind, the actual question, recommend and seem to program complexes often. I think you've said my favorite way to train. Absolutely. Complexes are my favorite way to train. The reason being is you have to switch up. You get so bored doing rep after rep after rep after rep. So let's put in some deadlifts and then throw some cleans. I mean, that's why I like to do it. It really puts a mindfulness aspect into it. It's a little bit more productive for sport, and not just kettlebell sport, but sports alone. Think about playing football. You don't just run through the line 3 times in a row. There's shifts and everything. So if you train your mind to be able to change your body on these things, it's great. My complex, the Bruce complex, is one of my absolute favorites. It's a heavy swing, a heavy flip swing into a goblet squat. That's 1 rep. Work your way up to 10. If you do that with a 48-kilogram bell, you are going to be strong in your hips and legs. And that, no boredom. Thank you. Glad to hear that. It's just much less boring. I've trained for over 20-something years. Anyway, let's get down here. This person's primarily used complexes elements of program for conditioning, but I use them for strength. That's the thing. You can use them for anything. If it's 2 reps of this, 2 reps of that, 2 reps of that, you have 6 reps that are still based on your hip. You can change it a lot in different ways. Moving on, let's see. I ramble a lot. All right, so someone says, I first saw your stuff during the squat variations video. There's so many ways to do squats with a kettlebell. I put 25 out there. Programs are cool, but principles have longevity. Would I ever write a book? I started years ago, and there's just so much information. It's very hard for me to be a person. This is hard for me to do right here. It's just, I want to add so many things to it. So maybe I need a little bit more time. I can start finishing that, but it's all based on principles of longevity. What's the best way to build upper traps and delts with kettlebells? I mean, pretty much anything that's heavy. I really like those upward flips. You can do lateral raises in a false grip and rack position where you're bringing it out. That works really well. Kettlebell snatch is always going to be helpful. Heavy single arm snatch, because you're going to balance it out. Another one. You're currently popularizing kettlebell only muscle gain, but if you add 2 non-kettlebell exercises to that program, what would they be? Non-kettlebell exercises. I'm not a fan of bench press. I'm a fan of shoulder press, overhead stuff. Um, I mean, barbell squat, probably more than deadlift if I was to pick that. Other than that, I really, really like. I mean, if you're gonna do some bench press, I'd rather probably have dips, something like that. Um, let's see, who would win in a fight out of me, Levi, and Steven? Dude, I'm going for Steven because that dude doesn't give a shit about anything. Um, will we ever see a return of the duck face? um, I don't know if you're ever going to see me get super lean bodybuilding wise. All right, so let's get down here. Some more. Thanks for doing this. Okay. This person has a GS, Gear Voice Sport bias. I was curious if I'd talk about experience getting into the kettlebell sport community. What year was it? 2010. How new was GS in the US at that time? The WKC was doing stuff, different things. I've seen Valery Fedorenko, Steve Cotter, the IKFF. Um, so I don't know exactly. I don't really follow too much history. I just kind of stay in the moment. What did I like or dislike about it? Oh, it was fucking hard. I thought it was cool because the one thing to me about kettlebell sport is why I don't think it's going to be an insane spectator sport is because most people that watch it or love it or fanatic about it, they they do it themselves. I mean, that's a thing. To watch somebody do the same thing over and over for 10 minutes, it's kind of hard. It's not really the most fancy thing. So I always thought maybe doing like relays or things like that would be really cool. A lot of people might just think it's boring. So that might be one of those things. Who were the big names of that time? Oh, shoot. Just so many. I just can't even think. I'm trying to think like Denisov, Vasiliev. I can't name lots of Russian names, but Bill Esch, Marty Farrell in United States. There's just so many. I'm not gonna have to remember all this. Did women only lift singles? Yes, back then. Do you know why when women started lifting doubles? We always had women lifting doubles at my gym from 2010 on. It just wasn't in sport yet. Um, let's see. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to answer a bunch of questions on here. It'll be based off of what I'm reading on Reddit right through here. But anyway, let's see. So we at Swing This Kettlebell and Strength, I always had thought women would lift doubles. They enjoyed it. It's fun. I don't know if there's any difference. And then I remember seeing it getting popularized, and then sport in the United States, Bolt and things like that happened, and then Kim Fox came out, and we saw women doubles being just insane. It's awesome. Let's see. So sorry I can't do too much more about the history. Um, let's see. I think here's one. Interested in the future of kettlebell sport. I think there's going to be, as long as there's no cheating and stuff like that, I think that there's going to be an insane amount of online competitions because it's all across the world and it doesn't take a lot of stuff to do. You can literally watch a video of someone doing it and you can judge multiple angles. So that might be huge. Let's get down here. Why did I start using kettlebells? Oh, here's the good ones, real good ones. All right, so I competed in bodybuilding, NPC bodybuilding until 2009. They said you need to get. I did well. I got many first places overall and Mr. Cincinnati, things like that. Went to the national level. Um, I just got. I really like to train legs, and I was just kind of beating myself up. But they're also like, you're a low middleweight, so I was like 165 to 168 when I competed. Um, let's see. They're like, you need to get bigger. Well, I've never taken any steroids for bodybuilding and performance enhancing drugs, and I wasn't about to start then. I did it for health and longevity. Always, I started bodybuilding so I would stop drinking a bunch and I stopped doing other things like that. But it just got boring to me. I was getting kind of beat up. It just over. Just I was over it. So I tried grab some kettlebells. They got to me. And then I was just challenged and it stuck. Someone says, why do you exclusively use kettlebells? I don't exclusively use kettlebells, but I have for the last 2 years because, kind of making my point, is kettlebells are great. You can take them anywhere. You can have them in a small space. You can get so much done with them. Barbells, to me, they're great if that's what you want. At the same time, there's less coordination. There's less things you can do with them. A lot more repetitious stuff. Advantages you feel kettlebells have over other pieces of equipment. It's kind of like what I said there. Transportable. They strength, endurance, coordination, focus, all sorts of stuff. It's based on doing more repetitions, and that's the thing. That's why I like it. It's more realistic in people's lives. To me, what are your thoughts on Turkish Getups? I think Turkish Getups are great. It's not an exercise. It's a chain of movements. It's a chain of things. So, when I have to get under my sink to fix the plumbing, well, Turkish Getup came in handy there. There's all sorts of different things. To me, it's whole body strength and coordination. How do I incorporate them? I'll snatch, I'll do a Turkish Getup. I'll snatch twice, I'll do a Turkish Getup. Snatch thrice, do a Turkish Getup. I program them in kettlebell only muscle gains. Not crazy, but maybe once every week or two. Why do I not recommend beginners use Simple and Sinister as their starting program? Because, oh, fuck. It's so insanely repetitious. You're doing swings and you're doing Turkish Getups. That's it. Like, there's so much else. How in the world is that a beginner? Like, find something that's all encompassing, that has everything. Push, pull, row, carry, clean, lunge. There's not even cleans. I don't understand it. It's just it's a thing to do for certain people once they've had experience, not for a beginner. Why do you not let's see, if you could give yourself advice from 10 years ago, what would it be? Slow the fuck down. Let's see, what's the next one? What do you need for kettlebell only muscle gain 1 and 2? How many different kettlebells? Can anyone do it? It's not a beginner program. It's definitely a low intermediate to advanced, but I would say if you're past the beginner stage, you need to do you need to be able to do snatches, push press, things like that, jerk. You can do push press instead of jerk. I made a single kettlebell version of kettlebell only muscle gain, so guys with a 16 to 24 would be fine. Ladies with 8 to 12 to 16. And kettlebell only muscle gain 2, that is a lot more different stuff. I just recommend at least a light for you kettlebell, a medium for you kettlebell, and a heavier kettlebell. Now I make videos out there that you can make the kettlebells weigh more by different angles and things like that. Not that they're going to weigh more, but they'll be more challenging. But resistance bands and different techniques and adding kettlebells and stuff. Like I said, it's not a beginner program. Now here's some other questions. For people that are not very good with doubles, would you advise to do the kettlebell and muscle gain for single kettlebells? Yes, absolutely. You got to learn single before you can do doubles, okay? If someone really likes to train every day, anything you advise that can be done on the rest days, absolutely. Go hiking, go biking, go play, go enjoy. Just go play things, try new things, go play basketball, try hockey, something. Just enjoy being a human and using your body. Is it okay to do kettlebell only muscle gain 1 and 2 in sequence? Or would you advise to do lighter stuff in between? No, you can change the weight to whatever suits your goal. Let's see. You could do either one, really. Kettlebell only muscle gain 1 has way more exercises. There's so many more. Sometimes you only do 1 or 2 once or twice before it moves on. But kettlebell only muscle gain 2 is a lot more progressive. You're going to see chunks or portions of the workouts that'll happen each week. Sometimes they'll happen in different spots of the workout each week. And there's still 4 days. Let's see. How's it feel to be one of the few sane kettlebell resources online? Maybe, I don't know if it's I'm sane, or maybe what I put out online is more sane. It feels good. I wish there was more. Um, Thank you. How would you recommend people appraise sources of information to avoid bad advice? How to tell a good source or a bad from a bad one online? Whew. Yeah, that's a good one. You gotta basically follow the money. Same as almost anything. Look what people are doing. If they're just literally just throwing out a different workout every single day and saying buy my this, buy my that, that just seems a little silly. If their hand insertion in a rack on a kettlebell doesn't look any better than a beginner's, something wrong there. What was the last workout that left me on the floor afterwards? It happens every couple weeks. Some of my complex ones are like that. The leg lava was one of them. Lex's leg lava was good. A lot of times it's my every minute on the minute. So EMOM versions of kettlebell sport long cycle. They're rough. Um, how can I improve my rack hold when my elbows don't rest on my hips for kettlebell sport? Elbow, hip. Mine won't ever. Definitely with both. Okay, so we got to rely on torso. I have a long torso and I have short here and more muscle than most. Muscle gets in the way. But also, my elbows are never going to touch my iliac crest. That's where a belt comes in handy, and using your torso as well. Okay? Some people will never be able to do it, just like I'm never going to be 6 foot tall, 6'7". Um, you can work on relaxing and mobility. That might help, but you just may never rest there. Let's see. A lot of recommendations. Okay, here's one. What do I think of Steve Cotter? I think Steve Cotter is one of the absolute best coaches ever. He's all over. He's one of my mentors. One of the reasons why I got into kettlebells. He was doing stuff that was all sorts of different things, coordination, martial art type movements, and that's what I think the beauty about kettlebells. It's not just strength. Now I like using it for strength, but it's not just strength. You can do sport. You can do. It's like the trail running of lifting. You can change so much. Okay, here we go. We go down to the bottom here a little bit more. Let's see. I'm getting compared to a lot of people. Thank you. Okay, I gotta find this next question. All right. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, it's still on the same one. Joe. Okay. What kind of program would you recommend for a power lifter who's interested in doing some heavy swings in the off season? I would just add some swings. I mean, I like knocking out. If you're gonna go heavy, I don't know why you would want to all the time. Follow Donnie Thompson's advice, because I'm not a power lifter. I'm strong, but Donnie Thompson used kettlebells all the time, even leading up to breaking the 3,000 total. He's still using them. Follow Donnie Thompson if you're looking into kettlebells and powerlifting. Everybody else is going to say that they don't work very well, but they do. All right, here. How would you take kettlebells and barbells seriously in a training program? I have done this before. I really enjoy Jim Wendler's 531 program. Do that first, and then do kettlebell as assistance. Simple. I even wrote stuff about it. Right now, I have barbell strength work in 531. There you go. And do kettlebell movements afterwards. I want a day where I combine the two, though, like bench and kettlebell snatches, supersets, and stuff. Fine. Yeah, that's good. I mean, if you think about barbell training, it's usually in the let's just say 1 to 5 range. Multiply everything with kettlebells of everything you're doing by about 5. So instead of doing a set of 5 kettlebells, swings for 25. Even some of the stuff is multiplied by 10. If you're gonna do 5 reps of barbell snatch, you can do 50 kettlebell snatch because it's sub maximal weight. I can get a person doing 50 single arm kettlebell snatches on each side in a very, very short period of time. Now 50 without the hand switch, Kettlebell sport is what limits people from doing it because it's got one hand switch. If you're going to do stuff with like the RKC and SFG where you can switch anytime, or even marathon stuff, it's so much easier. It's so much easier. It's because your hand skin tearing isn't the limiting factor. All right, let's keep going. Keep going. Very newbie question. Best bang for your buck movement that you can get a great overall result. Best training method. I don't want to pick one training method because they all give you different energy system training. So EMOMs, as many reps as possible in a time, they're all going to give you different effects. I love clean and jerk or clean and push press. What was my moment of clarity about kettlebell method and different results you can get with some of the tools? Well, it gave me a little bit of everything. That's the thing. I don't want to be only the best at strength and then not be mobile at all, not be coordinated and things like not be able to move or play with my kids when they're climbing through jungle gyms. Kettlebells give me a little bit of all of that. I just want to focus on if I want to go kayaking for a day trip, I want to be able to do that. Let's see. I just finished kettle. We're gonna have to turn this into a 2-part series because there's so much down here. Let's see. Best bang for your buck. I'm probably gonna come back within about half an hour for the rest of this video, and then I'll pair them together. And like I said, I haven't even had a chance to read any of these questions that are on here. Let's see. I just finished kettlebell only muscle gain 1 single bell program, and the workouts really show off my genius. Your genius, and I definitely made some pretty rapid progress in strength, work capacity, and muscle size over the course of the program. Awesome, I love that. Thank you. One area I struggled was the recovery aspect. I finished the 8-week program in about 8.5 weeks because there were a few weeks where I was too beat up from the last workout to hold the schedule. That's totally fine. It happens. I only got 3 out of my 4 planned workouts last week. It's totally cool. Besides eating and sleeping more, do you have any of your tips for recovering better, faster? So sometimes the first time you run through a program, you have no idea how it's going to affect you. The second time you do it, you can plan a little differently. Maybe trying a little bit lighter weights, maybe starting with lighter weights and Mastodon. Yes. I do so much recovery work and massage stuff. I mean, like everywhere. Like I should be doing this right now. Here, this roller. I'm gonna put it on my forearm, and it's sitting right down here. And I'm literally gonna work my arm. Look at that. Kettlebell snatch arm. Forearm. Literally have to work that muscle all the time. But that's the thing. That's something that I do that most people don't. I actually spend probably more time recuperating and fixing muscle tissue so I don't have tendon issues, damage. I saw that. That's one thing about kettlebells is they are fast, and sometimes you're catching spots that pull you off balance. People can go too quickly, and their tendon and ligament strength hasn't been built. Let's see, a compliment rather than a question. Joe's video on using the 2-handed clean to learn the path of the clean and using suitcase swings to learn hand insertion are the reason I can actually clean a kettlebell without pain and bruising. I would probably have given up without them. Thanks, Joe. Thank you. I'm really, really happy to hear that. That's the thing. Like you have to be able to pick out other ways to do things. Don't if someone says here's a proper way to do a kettlebell clean from here to here, and you can't get it, you have to find a coach or a person that can teach you in a way that's going to convey to you. Okay, just because this person or me, just because I can post a kettlebell clean that looks great to you, well, because I've done it for 10 years. It didn't look that way at the beginning. You go to the beginning of my YouTube channel, you can see the utter shit that was there. But I didn't take it away because I'm real. A lot of these people take away some of their old videos. I wanted to keep it so I can show progression over the 10 years. I wasn't very good at kettlebells right away. So yeah, you got to try different techniques. And it's my goal as a good coach to find ways that are going to help other people. Let's see. What was it that made me decide to focus on kettlebells? It's definitely the path less traveled, and to get great results, or certainly it's some more information and doing it other ways. Absolutely, but that's the thing about kettlebells. It makes you think. Think for yourself. That's what I like to do. Or you can let me help you, and then we can work together. But yeah, there's not so much stuff, and I can't read Russian. But America and people everywhere are so fixated on being stronger all the time until injuries happen. In my opinion, I've been there, I've done it. But when I found kettlebells, I just felt so much. My ego just went down because I'm doing things with 53 pounds, or two 53-pound weights that people are doing with barbells for over like 400. They're doing 3 to 4 times the weight than I am. I don't care. It doesn't. I'm getting better and I'm feeling better. That's all that matters. And I love kettlebells because it makes my brain work differently. I'm not a juggler. I'm not. I skipped a little. Don't skip the warm up. You don't have to do it all, but take 5 minutes and lubricate your joints and do some of that. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna start this other. I'm gonna take a half an hour break and I'm gonna come back here and do part 2. Okay. So right now I'm gonna take a break and we're gonna start with the second part. I'm gonna edit all these together later. So if you want to, if I've helped you out a little bit, leave a little tip down there. I don't know how to do it, but whatever. Anyway, I will talk to everybody later, 30 minutes from now, okay? All right, see you later.